When I grow up, I want to have hair like Cody.
I mean, you don't have to lie about it. It is pretty spectacular.
Not really. Today we're out at Wagler's. This is in Lyons, Indiana, and today is a test session. This weekend is a private event because of COVID-19. There's no spectators, and you're limited to 2 crew per vehicle. But we brought 5 vehicles, so we've got most of the Firepunk crew here. And this is the first time out with Josh's truck, so we're working through some bugs, getting the spool right, getting the nitrous jets and the stages, the spool jets coming on at the right time. And we're also getting the S10 dialed in. So this is first time out since Florida with the S10. So we should make some good progress today. We're looking forward to the sunny weather and being back on the racetrack.
Made 2 hits so far today. Trying to learn more things about our chassis setup, trying to put more power to it. So we're definitely doing some experimental things and have yet to make it go down the track. So we've, I don't know, messed with some weight ballast a little bit here and there. Definitely learned a few things from the first 2 hits, but have a good ways to go yet. So we'll keep looking at data, keep making changes, and hopefully have something we can work with by the end of the day. So the other variables, we have a track that's not been run on much in the last couple months, so the surface is a little bit different from what we're used to, and hopefully as guys keep going down it today, we'll keep getting more rubber on the track and have a better surface to work with. So out here just enjoying the weather and seeing what we can learn. Should be a fun day.
I need to. David would be so proud. We should send him a video of us doing this. Ooh, density altitude. 3300 feet.
Okay, we're getting ready for round 2 on Josh's truck. First round had a little bit of technical difficulties. He's just getting used to the buttons. We didn't have the internal dump valve parameters set correctly. It was coming on too soon when we were staging, so we made a change, and I actually got the polarities reversed, and so it actually stayed on instead of turning off when I wanted it to. So I fixed that. We're gonna go back up and try round 2. We've kicked the tires, what, 4 times now on the S10, so we are gonna turn the power down, start racing the track. We're being stubborn and trying to leave a big hit in it and seeing if we can get our 60 foot, getting the chassis to work with the better power or the higher power. But for today, we're gonna start dialing it back and get it to go A to B and then work our way up into it and see what we can do so we're ready for tomorrow.
That's right. It went straight.
Hey, it went A to B.
Basically took a little bit out of it, but it went straight.
It was still the same hit.
Yeah, it was still the same hit. 60. Give me a good 60, buddy.
It's gonna be 114.
108. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I could feel the top end, but it felt
went pretty straight to 330, and
right.
then it did left, and then it kind of straightened back out again.
I was gonna say, up until that point, it felt good, but I could feel it a little bit, but nothing, like it wasn't a sketchy feeling or anything.
Right. 520. Phil, what the f? 420, bro. Talk fuel climb.
Oh, no. What do you mean you don't? You went left.
Oh, you're so smart, it hurts.
Cody's just sitting around. If David was here, it would be spotless.
After the first pass, I noticed it.
I even lost my tuning job. Injector Jesus took over. Look at my hair. Okay, wrapping up the day, we finished the best pass of the S10 with a 430 at 172. We finally just took some power out of the hit, got it down the track, and then the second pass we added a little bit more power between the 60 foot and 330, and then also turned it up out the back door, and everything went good until the power came. We were probably 2,800 horsepower out the back door, and it did not take it. So you had to lift and coasted to a 450 at 133, something like that. So the S10's doing good, but we're just kind of learning the track. It's just good to be back out to the racetrack. Josh's truck, last pass, I think we teased him enough about letting off the pedal and the button all at the same time that he saw red, got tunnel vision, and he drove it like he was mad, so you'll be able to see in the video. So it came off the line with a little bit too much sauce, shook the tires hard, which the cable falls out of the parachutes, chutes came out, but he never lifted across the center line, hit one of the cones there at the end. But we got the data log that we needed, because without a data log on a brand new setup, I don't know where to set the shift points, I don't know where to command lockup, I don't know where to do anything until I get some data. So he got me that on the last pass of the day. It was a little bit more eventful than what we were hoping for, but going into tomorrow, we have somewhere to start. So hopefully tomorrow will be a good day. We can have a bunch of racers. We'll actually go into competition, and we'll see how we can make out tomorrow. Okay, today is race day. This is, we get 3 rounds of eliminations, or qualifying before we go into eliminations. Josh Scruggs just went. We actually turned it down and it still kicked the tires. The chassis responds very differently coming off of a trans brake button where the chassis is not loaded as opposed to a foot brake, so we're making some chassis adjustments for that. The Pro Mod's about to run. We're only allowed to have 2 people on the starting line, so Cody and Lynn are being crew for Larson, and I'm out here on top of the bus so that we can have a good view of the racetrack. And just because of all the social distancing requirements today, we can't have any spectators, we can't be in the grandstands, and no children allowed. It's kind of different racing, but it is what it is. So we're at the racetrack and we're having a good time.
Out here at Wagler Competitions drag strip here in Indiana. Just made a run. Track's hooking well. Ended up standing the truck on the rear bumper. Came down pretty hard, smashed the oil pan. We're getting a new oil pan right now, and hopefully we'll be running here later today if all goes well. Maybe take some power out of the hit and see if we could keep the front wheels on the ground instead of doing a monster wheel stand. Just like to thank my sponsors for being behind me, Deutsches Truck Repair, Exergy Performance, Danville Performance, Wagler Competition, Vibrant Performance, Mayetta Motorsports, and whoever else I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting a couple out there. I just appreciate everything you guys do for me. And straight line paint, the truck will probably be coming back to you to get some bodywork fixed. Thank you.
Okay, Josh's truck finally made a decent pass when a 539 at a 117. It still skated a little bit and he let off early. I wanted to show you guys a little bit what we look at our data log between runs. Gives you an idea as a tuner what we have to do on a race truck and how we can use our data to make our next run and how it makes better. So first thing that I can see is I look at the RPM of the shift points. Like this was a brand new setup. I did it with a new gear ratio, tire size of the transmission, and we're shifting time base. We do everything time based. That way I can pulse width modulate the lockup circuit based on the time of the shifter. We can coordinate everything together. And it's just very accurate because when you let off the trans brake it starts a timer and everything's consistent. This is a quick screen that shows me EGTs of each cylinder. We were between 1600 and 1800 degrees here on all 6 cylinders. And then scrolling up here, this is all our shock data. So these are the front, or these are the rear shocks. The data, and this is the front shocks, and then this is the raw drive shaft speed. I also have a filtered version that's nice and smooth, but this tells me exactly when I get wheel spin, when I get a hop, and then we know how to adjust compression and on the shocks based on whether they're extending or compressing and vice versa. If we come over to this other worksheet, this stuff looks all really busy. I've got a lot of fuel system stuff that I can see here, but I can see that my shift point was right here, which was exactly 1.7 seconds into the run, but my pulse width modulation for my lockup is supposed to be over that shift and I missed it. So I can set that set point and set my timer back right where the lock pulse width modulation is, and know that I can look at my time. I need to move my shift point back 0.4 of a second, and I can hit my shift point right where the torque converter unlocks. So data really gives us a direct correlation to know what we need to do on the following run. And this here would be this is boost pressure. So you can see on this last run we made a peak boost of 101 psi, and we can see this is engine oil pressure. Engine oil pressure was 82 psi, and our lift pump pressure was 20 psi here. And this, we also have intake air temperature. I have all kinds of different pre-controls for the CP3s that I can see. This is the CP3s and how they're targeting the rail pressure. But I pretty much have information from every channel. I have a nitrous, and this is a transmission value. So this is torque converter lockup pressure. This is transmission mainline pressure. This is the G meter. I can see on that last run we had a peak of 2 Gs. The S10 generally pull right at 3 Gs. So the four-wheel drive doesn't pull quite as much, but we also race that G meter. So we try to keep that G meter as flat as possible. So I see it start falling off, so I know I can start adding power in here on the next pass. So basically that gives you a short version. I mean, those look like a lot of scribbles and lines, but to me, once you start understanding what those values are, it gives me direct information to know how to set the tune-up for the next pass. And then we go out, and every pass it just gets a little bit better, and you build a database of information. And then the next time we come back to a track like this that's similar, we know kind of the drive shaft curve that we need to follow to make it go down the track, and it gives us more consistent results because of the data that we have. .532 at 115.